Hello everybody. Today we're going to continue to work on how to solve multiplication and division problems with unknown parts. We're going to try using those letters that we started to use on Tuesday when we're representing our problems. So your assignment today is going to include 4 word problems. You will choose 2 to solve, and you will solve 2. Heads up, you might hear some squeaking. My dog wants to play. So let's take a look. Here's our first example. Sawyer sees 7 beetles when he weeds his garden. Each beetle has 6 legs. How many legs are there on all 7 beetles? So again, you're going to think about, okay, what's happening in this word problem? What are they wanting us to tell them? So I know that we've got 7 beetles. Let's go with green today. How about that? There's the squeaky Finny. 7 beetles, and we know each beetle has 6 legs, so they're really asking us to solve 7 times 6. Now, I could draw out 7 groups of 6, or I could even draw the 7 beetles and start putting 6 legs on there. I could, but let's use those strategies we've been working on. Let's use that distributive property. Let's not waste our time drawing all that stuff. Now, we've worked on how to break up a 7 or a 6, both. So today you could choose which one. I'm going to break up my 6. I like sticking with those 5s and 1s. I find that's easy. So I'm going to break up my 6 into a 5 and a 1. And I'm going to write my 2 problems down. So now I'm going to take my 7. I'm going to multiply it by both parts. 7 times 5 plus 7 times 1. Now, one thing I forgot to do is to write my letter. So because I'm being asked how many legs are there on all 7 beetles, I want to use the letter L, but I forgot to warn you the other day. Look at this. An L looks very much like the number 1, doesn't it? If you want to use an L, you could use a cursive L that looks kind of like this. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a cursive L, and I'm solving for L in this case. So I can even get myself set up and go L equals, and we're going to find out what it equals. Okay, 7 times 5. I'm going to count by 5, 7 times. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Now I'm going to do my pink part, 7 times 1. Nice and easy. That's just a 7. So I'm going to do 35 plus 7. Well, if I take 5 out of the 7, give it to the 35, that makes it 40. And then I have 2 left. So my answer is going to be 42. So I'm going to write up here, L equals 42. Then I'm going to write my statement. How many legs are there on all 7 beetles? There are, and you can type it if you want, 42 legs. Okay, so using your letter to represent the part you're trying to find, and trying to use your distributive property when it's appropriate, when it works. Let's take a look at our second example. Mrs. Davis has 48 students. She puts them into groups of 6. How many groups does she make? So I can write it out in a couple of ways. I know if I have 48 students being put into groups of 6, it's going to be a division problem. And I'm going to find out how many groups. So again, I'm going to use a G just like I did on Tuesday. Or I could say, okay, I've got groups of 6 students, but we don't know how many groups. But I do know I've got a total of 48 students. So I can set up my problem either way here. And then I can write my G equals to get ready to tell me what G equals once I solve. Now in this one, I don't know how to use distributive property to solve a division problem. This is not something we've talked about yet. This is an appropriate time to draw a picture. So I'm going to start making groups of 6. Here's a group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to make sure I keep track. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Boy, this is taking me a long time. I'm not really a fan of all this. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. That took a long time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups is what I came up with as an answer, but I don't like how long it took me. Maybe I would try skip counting. That might be less time. So I could go 6, 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. Plus 6, give 2 to the 18, make it 20, and have 4 left. Use your strategies. Try not to count with your fingers. 36, 42, 48. That went a lot faster. Then I can count how many groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups. Then I would write my statement, which is, how many groups does she make? She makes 8 groups. Okay? You do not need to write both problems. You can just choose one, but I do want you to try using that letter this time. See if you can use a variable. Make sure you're thinking about whether the problem you're solving is multiplication or division. Good luck. Let me